Welcome to Power in Words, a sanctuary built for your weary spirit, a place where language transcends mere communication and becomes the very fuel for your transformation. You have arrived here not by accident, but because a quiet, persistent voice within you is seeking a shift, a breaking of the dawn after a long, disorienting night. We are here to walk that path together, to remind you of the strength that lies dormant beneath the surface of your daily routine, and to ignite the spark that will eventually become a roaring fire of purpose. Let us begin this conversation by acknowledging the heaviness you sometimes carry. It's a weight that does not originate in your muscles or your bones, but in the intricate, stormy landscape of your mind. There are days when you wake up and the world feels less like a playground of opportunity and more like a minefield of obligations and potential failures. You look in the mirror, and instead of seeing the miracle of your existence, you see the flaws, the aging, the mistakes of yesterday, and the anxieties of tomorrow. You walk through your day, and even when sunlight touches your face, you are focused on the storm clouds gathering on the horizon. This is the human condition, the default setting of a brain designed to survive rather than thrive. But there is a secret, a fundamental law of the universe that the great Tony Robbins has championed for decades, a truth so simple yet so profoundly earth-shattering that it can rewrite your entire destiny in a single heartbeat. Where focus goes, energy flows. Understand that this is not merely a catchy slogan to be printed on a poster. It is the biological and spiritual mechanism of your existence. Your life, as you experience it right now, is not a reflection of objective reality. It is a reflection of your attention. Imagine for a moment that you are standing in a vast pitch-black warehouse. This warehouse represents the entirety of your life, everything you have ever done, every person you know, every fear you hold, and every dream you cherish. In your hand, you hold a flashlight. That flashlight is your focus. Wherever you point that beam of light, that specific section of the warehouse becomes real to you. If you point the flashlight at the corner filled with broken machinery, rusted metal, and old debris, you will conclude that your life is nothing but a junkyard. You will feel heavy, depressed, and overwhelmed because all you can see is brokenness. But if you were to simply turn your wrist just a fraction of an inch and shine that light onto the opposite wall, you might illuminate a shelf filled with golden trophies, family heirlooms, and seeds ready for planting. Suddenly, standing in the exact same room, your reality shifts from a junkyard to a treasure trove. The room did not change. You did not move. Only your focus shifted. And because your focus shifted, your energy followed. The tragedy of the modern soul is that we have become disciplined practitioners of our own suffering. We have trained ourselves through years of repetition to focus on what is missing, what is broken, and what we cannot control. When you focus on what you lack, you create a vacuum of scarcity that sucks the vitality right out of your veins. You think about the money you do not have, and suddenly you feel physically smaller. Your shoulders slump, your breathing becomes shallow, and your capacity to take action is paralyzed. This is the energy flowing toward the void. You are pouring your precious life force into a black hole. But the reverse is equally true, and this is where your power lies. When you deliberately choose to focus on what you have, on the abundance that surrounds you, on the breath in your lungs, on the opportunity to try again, your biochemistry changes. Gratitude is not just a polite emotion. It is a molecular architect. It restructures your internal state, flooding you with dopamine and serotonin, giving you the fuel to move, to build, to create. Think of the gardener who stands over a patch of earth. If the gardener focuses entirely on the weeds, obsessing over their tenacity, complaining about their thorns, and weeping over their invasion, he will be exhausted before he lifts a finger. His energy flows into the problem, magnifying it until the weeds seem like insurmountable monsters. But if that same gardener shifts his focus to the rose, to the delicate potential of the bloom, to the vision of the garden in full spring, his energy shifts. He pulls the weeds not with frustration, but with purpose, because his focus is on the beauty he is creating, not the nuisance he is removing. As Ralph Waldo Emerson so eloquently whispered to the ages, we become what we think about all day long. If your thoughts are anchored in the harbor of past regrets, you will never sail the ocean of future potential. You must ask yourself, In the quiet honesty of this moment, where is my flashlight pointing? This battle for focus is the most critical war you will ever fight. It is a war because there are forces constantly vying for your attention. The news cycles of doom, the social media algorithms designed to make you feel inadequate, the cynical voices of those who have given up on their own dreams. They're all screaming, "Look here, look at the disaster, look at the pain." To maintain your focus on your vision, on your gratitude, and on your solution is an act of radical rebellion. It requires the discipline of a warrior. You must stand guard at the door of your mind. You must realize that every thought is a seed. If you focus on the fear of failure, you are watering the seed of anxiety. You are giving it sunlight and soil. You are nurturing the very thing you claim to hate. And eventually that seed will grow into a forest of paralysis that blocks your path. Stop watering the weeds. Stop giving your energy to the scenarios that haven't happened yet. Stop rehearsing tragedy in the theater of your imagination. Consider the athlete standing at the starting line. If she focuses on the possibility of falling, on the strength of her opponents, or on the pain in her legs, her muscles will tense in the wrong way. Her cortisol levels will spike, and her performance will suffer. Her body is physically reacting to the image in her mind. But if she visualizes the finish line, if she feels the ribbon breaking across her chest, if she focuses on the power exploding from her calves, her body aligns with that reality. This is not magic, it is alignment. Energy flows where focus goes. The body follows the mind. Your life follows your thoughts. You are the driver of a high-speed vehicle. If you stare at the wall you are afraid of hitting, your hands will unconsciously steer you right into it. You must look at the open road. You must look at the gap. You must look at where you want to go, not where you are afraid to end up. There is a profound liberation in accepting that you cannot control the events of the world, but you can control the lens through which you view them. Viktor Frankl, a man who endured the unimaginable horrors of concentration camps, discovered this ultimate human freedom. He realized that while his captors could control his environment, his food, and his physical body, they could not control his focus. He chose to focus on the love of his wife, on the work he would do after the war, on the meaning of his suffering. By directing his focus toward meaning rather than despair, he generated a spiritual energy that allowed him to survive when others perished. If a man can master his focus in the depths of hell, surely you can master yours in the challenges of your daily life. You have the same capacity. It is built into the architecture of your consciousness. Many of us are waiting for the external world to change so that we can feel better. We say, when I get the promotion, then I will focus on success. When I find the perfect partner, then I will focus on love. When I lose the weight, then I will focus on confidence. This is the great illusion. It is backward. You do not wait for the fire to give you heat before you put in the wood. You must put in the wood of focus first to generate the heat of reality. You must focus on confidence to build the body. You must focus on love to attract the partner. You must focus on abundance to create the wealth. You are the generator, not the passive recipient. The moment you shift your focus from "why is this happening to me" to "what can I learn from this," the energy shifts from victimhood to mastery. The victim sees a problem, the leader sees a puzzle. The victim feels the weight, the leader feels the resistance training. It is the same circumstance transformed by the alchemy of focus. Let us speak of the emotional addiction to the past. Many of you are driving through life while staring exclusively into the rearview mirror. You are replaying the scenes of betrayal, the words of the critic, the stumble on the stage. You dissect it, analyze it, and marinate in it. And because your focus is on the past, your energy flows backward. You are sending your vitality to a ghost. You cannot build a future while you are actively reconstructing the past. You must have the courage to snap the flashlight forward. This requires forgiveness. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to have your focus back. Forgiveness is simply the act of taking your energy off the person who hurt you and placing it back onto your own growth. It is cutting the power line that feeds their memory and plugging it into your destiny. Imagine your energy as a river. When your focus is scattered, checking emails, worrying about the news, judging a stranger, regretting yesterday, that river spreads out into a shallow, stagnant swamp. It has no force. It creates no movement. But when you narrow your focus, when you become obsessed with a positive outcome, when you decide that this is what I am doing and nothing will stop me, that river narrows and accelerates. It becomes a torrent. It becomes a waterfall. It can cut through rock. This is the state of flow that artists, athletes, and great leaders speak of. It is the result of absolute, undivided attention. When you decide to focus on your craft, your health, or your family with total immersion, the universe seems to organize itself around you. Coincidences happen, resources appear, people step in to help. It is not luck, it is the magnetic pull of focused energy. You become a broadcasting station, transmitting a clear signal, and the world resonates with that frequency. However, we must be gentle with ourselves, for this is a practice, not a destination. You will lose focus. You will find yourself staring at the junk in the warehouse again. You will catch yourself spiraling into the what-ifs of catastrophe. Do not berate yourself, for shame is just another form of negative focus. Instead, gently, firmly, like a parent guiding a child, take your hand and turn the flashlight back to the prize. Say to yourself, I see the fear, but I choose to focus on the courage. I see the lack, but I choose to focus on the possibility. Every time you redirect your focus, you are doing a mental push-up. You are strengthening the muscle of your will. You are literally rewiring the neural pathways of your brain. There is a beautiful, terrifying power in realizing that you are the author of your emotional state. It means no one is coming to save you because you hold the key in your own pocket. If you want to feel excitement, focus on what excites you. If you want to feel love, focus on the people you cherish. If you want to feel proud, focus on how far you have come, not on how far you have left to go. The external world is merely a canvas. Your focus is the brush, and your energy is the paint. What masterpiece will you create today? Will you paint a gray, stormy landscape of worry, or will you paint a vibrant, chaotic, beautiful sunrise of hope? The choice is made moment by moment, thought by thought. Think of the sheer amount of energy you have wasted on things that never happened. Think of the hours spent ruminating on arguments that took place only in your head. Think of the exhaustion that comes not from work, but from worry. Now imagine if you took all that reclaimed energy, every ounce of it, and poured it into a singular goal. Imagine if you poured it into loving your family, into mastering your skill, into healing your body. You would be unstoppable. You would be a force of nature. This is what Tony Robbins means. It is an invitation to conservation and direction. It is a call to stop leaking your power and start channeling it like a laser beam. A light bulb illuminates a room. A laser, which is just focused light, can cut through steel. Be the laser. As you move forward from this moment, I want you to become hyper-aware of your internal gaze. When you feel your chest tighten with anxiety, pause and ask, what am I focusing on right now? You will find invariably that you are focusing on a negative outcome. Acknowledge it and then pivot. Ask a better question. What is the best thing that could happen? What is the solution? Who do I need to be to handle this? Questions are the steering wheel of your focus. If you ask, why am I such a failure? Your brain will focus on finding evidence of your failure. If you ask, how can I turn this around? Your brain will tirelessly search for a solution. Direct your inquiry and you direct your life. The world needs you, not the tired, distracted, fearful version of you, but the focused, energized, radiant version of you. We need people who are focused on solutions, focused on kindness, focused on growth. When you lift yourself, you lift those around you. Your energy is contagious. When you walk into a room with the certainty that comes from positive focus, you change the atmosphere. You become a lighthouse in the storm for others who have lost their way. By mastering your own mind, you serve the collective. You show us what is possible. You prove that we are not slaves to our instincts, but masters of our perception. So let the weeds in the garden die from lack of attention. Let the old wounds scab over and heal because you stopped picking at them with your thoughts. Let the critics talk to an empty room because you are too busy building your empire to listen. Turn your face toward the sun and the shadows will naturally fall behind you. This is the law. This is the promise. The energy is there, waiting for your command. It is thrumming in the air around you, infinite and available. It only waits for one thing, a target. Give it a target. Lock your eyes on your vision. Hold it there when the wind blows. Hold it there when the ground shakes. Hold it there when the doubts whisper. And as you hold that focus, you will feel the surge, the warmth, the undeniable flow of life rushing to meet you. You are capable of more than you know. You have a reservoir of strength that has never been tapped because you have been looking at the dam instead of the water. Break the dam. Shift the gaze. Reclaim your sovereignty over your own mind. It is the hardest work you will ever do, and it is the only work that matters. The script of your life is being written by the tip of your attention. Write a story of triumph. Write a story of resilience. Write a story of love. The journey of 1,000 miles begins not just with a single step, but with a single look in the right direction. Let today be the day you stop drifting and start driving. Let today be the day you take the flashlight out of the dusty corners of your past and shine it brightly, unapologetically, into the magnificent corridor of your future. The path is clear. The energy is ready. The focus is yours to command. Your life is a reflection of where you choose to look. So choose to look at the light until you become the light itself. If this message helped ignite a spark within you, please like this video and subscribe to the Power in Words channel to keep your fire burning bright and join us on this journey of transformation.